Monday, July 21st at 5:30 p.m. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. This is our reorganizational meeting, and I'd like to welcome the three returning members, I guess. Lori Furris, Tom Peters, and Jake Schmidt were all elected to another 3-year term. They've all taken the oath of office, and welcome them back to the school board. And at this time, I will accept nominations for board chairperson.
Well, I nominate Sheldon Wolf for our board chair.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Ms. Rebenitz, will you call the roll?
Yes.
Yes.
Kema?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Can I vote on my own? Thank you, everybody. Thank you for putting your faith in me. We'll move on then, and we'll accept, I'm assuming you're turning it over to me, right? We'll move on, then we'll accept the nominations for board vice chairs.
I'll nominate Rick Horn.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other nominations for board vice chair? Any other nominations for board vice chair? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Congratulations, Mr. Horn. And then we'll move on. Approval of the agenda. Is there any changes to the agenda? Seeing none from administration. Anybody else? All right, could I get a motion to accept?
Go ahead.
Move to accept the agenda as presented.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Anybody in the audience wish to address the board? Seeing nobody, I'll move on. We'll go to the administrator's report. Proposed school board member committee assignments for 25-26. Dr. Bitts.
In your packet, I took the liberty of doing committees kind of based on what happened last year. This is open for discussion. I don't know that we want to finalize this tonight, but I put a few things together. I did add a wellness committee and put Ms. Shenandoah on that. But I guess I don't want to take over for you, Mr. Wolf, but maybe if anybody has any changes they'd like to suggest or things they'd like to see different, they can communicate that to you or I, and we can talk about this again on August 4th.
Yep, that'll be correct if you want to make any changes. The one that is on here, joint facilities with Park District, that meeting just does not work out for me. I am on that board. So if somebody would like to assume that, please let Dr. Bitts or myself know, and we'll put you on that for the next time frame. And we'll do like we did last time. I think the next board meeting we'll finalize this. So if you got any changes, let us know in regard to it. If you want to move committees or whatever, we can move some things around on there. Pretty open for looking at that. So if you do, let us know. We'll go from there, all right?
It meets once a year, and it's usually a noon meeting in January, right? I think it's, I can't remember what day of the week it is.
Yeah.
Thursday, maybe? It's a Thursday noon meeting in January.
It just conflicts with something I have all the time on that day, so.
I know Mr. Haugen has gone to a couple of them in your place, but I think it's open. If anybody wants that, it would be open.
All right. Any other thoughts, suggestions on them? All right, seeing none, then let's go to the North Dakota School Board Association Annual Convention, the 9th and the 10th.
Correct. The 9th is the new member seminar and the legal seminar, and then the 10th is the annual convention. This is different. It's usually the end of October, so they changed the date. Registration isn't out yet, but I just thought I'd let you know so you can put it on your calendar if that's something that interests you. And then, if I may, Mr. Wolf?
Yep, go ahead.
The next one is DPI School Board Member Boot Camp. That is via Zoom on August 7th, and that registration is out. If you'd like to do that, we can get you registered for that.
What is that all about?
I think each department at DPI just kind of goes and gives an overview of what they do and how they work with schools.
Oh, okay. So it's about their stuff that they do.
It's the stuff that they do, and they just, I guess, want to inform board members of the supports we have from the department.
If somebody wants to go, is that to you?
Yeah, they can get to me, and it's a Zoom meeting.
Okay. So if you want to go, let him know, okay? All right, anything else on that one? All right, then we'll move on. We'll go to the consent agenda, review and consider approval of previous board minutes from June 23, 25. What are the wishes of the board?
I would move that we approve the consent agenda.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We have no unfinished business, so we'll go into new business. Tonight is kind of the night we make a lot of motions to get everything going for the next year in regard to it. So as we go through it, we'll have a lot of motions, so we'll get them taken care of. But we'll start out with the first one, designating the Mandan News the official newspaper of the Mandan Public School District. Dr. Bitts?
Correct. The Mandan News has been our official newspaper for as long as I can remember, and it would be our recommendation that we continue with them.
All right, what are the wishes of the board?
I move to continue with the Mandan News as the official newspaper of the Mandan.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? That was actually voted on, right? So we really don't have much choice, correct?
We have to publish our minutes. We could pick a different official newspaper if we wanted to.
All right.
The minutes, we have to publish our minutes, but in the official paper, but you get to pick the official paper.
Can I ask, is the Mandan News is all digital now, or is there a print version of
I
it?
do believe they still have a print version, but I'm not sure. It's together with the Tribune.
Yeah.
It's the,
Fine.
yeah.
Our legal notices still get printed.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item, consider appointing Ryan Legacy as the district business manager. He's been a business manager for a while, so what are the wishes of the board?
Motion to appoint Ryan Legacy as the district business manager.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussions? Other than saying thanks for all the work you do. I'll tell you that now. Please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Next item, consider authorizing the business manager and the superintendent to invest school district funds. Pretty much you handle the investment side. Anything you want to add there, Dr. Bitts?
Just that we are bound by law on what we can invest in. We don't get to speculate and get into the stock market. It has to be a pretty safe return.
All right. What are the wishes of the board?
I would move that we authorize the business manager and the superintendent to invest in our school funds.
All right. We have a motion. We have a second. We have a second. Any further discussions or questions? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Next item, consider approval of building principles of the authorized representative of Mandan Public School District for the school immunization law. Dr. Bitts?
Correct. We need to supply information to the Department of Health on the number of kids that we have that have different immunizations, and the the principals are the point of contact for each building.
All right. Any questions? What's the wishes of the board?
I would move that we approve that our business managers as the authorized representatives of Mandan Public School District for the school immunization law.
We have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Questions? Mr. Haugen, do you have a question? Looked like you had. Oh, okay. You're good? All right. Please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Ms. Huvestal, if you do have questions, just chime in, please, okay? Next item, what's that?
She said, sounds good.
All right. Next item, consider designating Dr. Bitts and Dr. Rederath as the authorized representatives for all state and federal programs. Dr. Bitts?
Correct. The money that we get from DPI and from the federal government all comes through programs, and they require you to designate an authorized representative to work with them on your behalf.
Okay. Might have a little work cut out for you for Title, 2, 3, and...
Yeah, actually, there might not be a whole lot of work. We might not.
And I know you're out there working on it. Any questions? Seeing and hearing none, what are the wishes of the board?
I'd make the motion to designate Dr. Bitts, Dr. Rederath as authorized representatives for all state and federal programs.
We have a motion, we have a second? We have a second. Any discussions, comments, questions? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes, the motion passes. Consider designation of the following individual as supervisor of programs, Title I, Dr. Rederath, Title II, Part A, Dr. Rederath, Title IX, Dr. Bitts, English learners, Dr. Bitts, homeless liaison, Lonnie Delmore, foster care liaison, Troy Lee Langard, Title VI, Indian Education Grant, Travis Elbers, assessment coordinator, Perry Just, child nutrition director, Jewel Meyer. Dr. Rederath.
Yeah, just to note, two changes on there. The homeless liaison, Lonnie DeLorem, is new to us. Kat Dahl resigned, so Lonnie is another family liaison stepping into that role. And Joel Meyer is the new nutritional director who replaced Becky. And just to note, around federal funds, we're still waiting on 2, 3, and 4 currently. They opened up some federal funding this last few days. That was all after school programming, though. That was not funding that directly impacted us. So I think that's something at our retreat when we meet to just really look at the budget and what that could mean for us and where those dollars currently go and how we leverage them.
Okay, thank you. What's the wishes of the board?
I move to designate those individuals as the supervisors of the programs listed.
All right, thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussions, questions, concerns? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes, that motion passes. Moving on to G, review and consider approval of securities pledged by local banks to guarantee school district investments. Mr. Legas.
Yes, included in your packet is our pledge of securities from our depositories. The school board is required to approve this twice a year. Starion, BNC, Capital Credit Union, and Dakota Community Bank all meet the requirements. It would be my recommendation to approve.
All right, thank you. What are the wishes of the board?
I would move that we approve, how would I say it? Consider approval of the securities pledged by the local banks listed.
All right, thank you. We have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussions, questions? If not, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda, review and consider approval of school board meeting dates for 25. 25 and 26. Dr. Bitts.
Correct. In your packet is a schedule of proposed dates, kind of mirrors what we did this year, where we have one meeting in July, one meeting in January, one meeting in December, and one meeting in June, and then 2 meetings every other month. If it's a holiday, we move from Monday to Tuesday, but this schedule just mirrors what we've been doing.
All right. I'll see if I can make the ones that started for. Any questions or concerns on this? Any changes? Seeing none, what are the wishes of the board?
I move to approve the school board meeting dates for 25, 26.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second? Second. Any further discussions, questions? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item, review and consider approval of 25-26 substitute teacher pay. Dr. Bitts.
Correct. In your packet, you can see that this past year we paid $140 per day. We would like to increase that to $150. That is in line. Bismarck is doing the identical amount. Rumor has it that a few years back we didn't have the same rates, and people were dropping jobs in one district and taking them in the other. So it just kind of made a mess. So we kind of like to set our sub pay rates the same.
Are we having any issues getting subs?
Last year was better, but it's always a challenge. You divide that out over 7-8 hour day. That's not great money. If you fill in for a long term, so it pays better. But a day here or there, it's tough to get a call at 6:30 in the morning and expect you to be there at 8.
Yep. All right. What are the wishes of the board?
I would move that we approve the substitute teacher pay for 25, 26.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussions, questions, concerns? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item, review and consider approval 25-26 activity fee and ticket prices.
Correct. On the same page on the bottom is we are recommending no change to our athletic admission events. We raised prices last year, and we will keep them the same, or we're recommending that we keep them the same going into this year.
What are the wishes of the board in this one?
I'd move that we approve the activity fees as listed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is review and consider approval of the 25-26 school facilities rental fee. Dr. Bitson, when you talk, can you talk about some that were crossed off here so we got an understanding why?
Yeah, correct. Basically, made a couple of changes up top, and I missed a number. The new auditorium, we'd like to say $400 an hour and then $1,600 a day. It's 4 times. That's kind of what we've done with our basketball courts and stuff. When you get down into equipment, I think that should just go along with what you're renting. We just kind of thought it was unnecessary and complicated. I took a look at what Bismarck was charging and looked at their forms, and they didn't charge for any of those things. And I just think it's just cleaner and easier that we don't need to. When you rent the gym or auditorium for $1,600 a day, you get custodial services with that.
Okay. Any other questions?
What are people renting the culinary kitchen for?
It has not been rented yet, but if somebody wanted to, we would much sooner have them in that kitchen than our own kitchen, just because of the requirements the federal government puts on our kitchen and it being used. So it's never been used, but.
But in reality, if somebody rented the auditorium and the culinary kitchen because they wanted to do some things, they could. I mean,
Right,
in a
exactly.
combination. That would be kind of an example where somebody might.
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? What are the wishes of the board?
I would move that we approve the 25, 26 activity facilities rental fees.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any further comments, questions? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item, review and consider approval of 2025-2026 child nutrition meal prices. Dr. Bitts.
Correct. And here we are asking for to raise prices. Food costs have gone up. Labor costs have gone up. We deficit spent last year in our food service program. Basically, we're looking at about a 15-cent increase for elementary breakfast, elementary lunch, and secondary breakfast. Middle and high school lunch, we're recommending going up a quarter. That's just to cover our costs. We still don't have federal reimbursement rates yet for this upcoming school year. It's not the Department of Ed, it's the Department of Ag, but it's hard to get answers out of Washington right now.
Dr. Bitts, we also got to stay fairly close to what they're having, right? Can you kind of refresh us on that, please?
Our prices are supposed to increase each year and be a percentage of our reimbursement costs. So the federal government, my kids don't qualify for free and reduced lunches, but they still get there's federal commodities in their lunch, and we get there are some federal dollars that go into even full pay lunches, free lunches, and they require us to set our wages. We're still below what they want us to be at, but we're required to be. They suggest we be higher. They tell us we have to, but there's no consequence if we don't. So that's probably a good way of saying
So
it.
some of the increase, though, is because they require us to do it.
Yes.
That's what I was getting at.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't explain that very well.
And one last question I have, and I'm sure others have questions. You got a question mark here for adult breakfast and adult lunch on here.
Should have lost my sheet here. Oh, that's because we don't have the reimbursements rates back. They have to be so much higher than. I will set those once we know the reimbursement rates of what they have to be.
Okay.
Because adults always say adults have to cover the cost of the commodity in the lunch. The federal government won't subsidize that.
Okay.
So
I just want to make sure
that's
that.
correct. And then we don't until we have the reimbursement rates. We can't set those.
Okay.
Sorry,
No
wasn't
problem.
very clear on that.
All right. Any other questions?
I think we can, and we'll set the adult price where we have to set it to be in compliance, and I'll report back to you what that is. If that's okay, Mr. Hogan. Okay.
All right. What are the wishes of the board on the child nutrition meal prices?
I would move that we approve the 25-26 child nutrition meal prices.
All right. We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda is review and consider a first reading of the following policies: ILB, personal electronic communication, and IJA, patriotic exercises. Dr. Rederath.
Yeah, so this is a little atypical. Typically, we bring things through policy and personnel, but with the law change, we're required to have something on the books before school starts. So two things. My intention as we talk through it today is we're going to bring it back August 4th because this is the first time you've seen it, and I'd like to bring it back under old business instead of consent agenda because then we can talk through it. We can make, if people have questions, if we want to make a change, we still have an opportunity to do that there. And I also intend to have it on the Policy and Personnel Committee's agenda throughout the school year to work on and to tweak. But what we have in front of us is the template from the school boards, from the North Dakota School Boards Association, meeting the intent of the law. Where you see some changes where they give us some options. And I worked with Mark Andreessen and Amanda Tomlinson really closely on this, as their two buildings are most impacted by this new bill and by this new policy. And so what you'll see on it is the two places that we had some discretion is under student contact. let's see, what page is it in the packet? I took out that employees would be prohibited from using personal electronic communication devices during instructional time for non-instructional or educational related purposes, including personal texting, email, phone calls, social media. Employees are expected to use a personal device during non-instructional times and other breaks in the school day. And talking with Amanda and Mark, I think this is something they want to handle in-house as far as what their policies and what their expectations are in buildings for personal use, and that was an optional piece of it. Bismarck also similarly was talking about taking that section out. And then just below that, it gave us two options as far as disciplinary measures. We elected to put the disciplinary component of it into our student handbooks instead of outlining it in policy. It just gives us a lot more flexibility. To me, it's a lot more transparent to families and to students to have it in a handbook as opposed to buried in a policy. So that's why I elected to go that route. So those are the kind of the deviations from what North Dakota school boards gave us that we decided to make. But other than that, we followed it pretty much to the letter with the idea over this next year. How it rolls out as we work through it in policy and personnel, we may make some tweaks, but we wanted to make sure we were following what the law had laid out and that we were covered there. So with that, I can definitely answer any questions on that policy.
And if I may add something, I don't mean to interrupt it, but part of the thinking with our staff was the instructional day is from 8:20 to 3:30 or roughly whatever our bell is. I don't have a problem if one of our teachers or one of our paras or custodians needs to use the phone during their lunch hour. That's still the instructional day. Our students aren't going to be allowed to do that, but I don't have a problem with our staff responsibly doing that. That was the thought process on that.
We have big buildings too, and we have students with high needs, and we need to be able to kind of communicate quickly, and sometimes that requires staff to leverage a cell phone, and so there's just enough nuance there that we didn't want to paint anything into a corner, and that allow each building to establish their process with that.
Dr. Rederath, if you wouldn't mind, can you talk a little bit about some of the exceptions in here? I know it's in here and people can look at it, but for those that are watching, can you just talk a little bit about the idea and some of those things?
Probably the biggest exceptions are going to be for medical need. We have several students who are diabetic who need their phone to monitor insulin, those sorts of things. We do have some special education students that use personal communication devices. Might not necessarily be a phone, might be an iPad or things like that to communicate. Some hearing impairment things. There's some unique situations that require a specific device and a specific app. Now, there's lots of different accommodations that we can meet other ways, for students that don't require a phone, but there's some of those real specifically medical ones that require the use of some sort of personal electronic device. But there will be medical plans around that. People will be on the same page as far as why they have it, what's the appropriate use for that. That's all those things that we need to, I think, work out.
Okay. And those exceptions are actually written in the law, right?
They are.
I mean, those are identified, correct?
Yep. Specific to like 504 plans and individual education plans.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for the education.
Yeah.
Sure, I have a
Go ahead.
question. Dr. Rederath, it talks about the phones being inaccessible to students during the day, and I know when this was in the legislature, they were talking about dictating what that looked like.
Yep.
But do we get to decide that at the school level now? And is that part of what's going to happen?
Yep, we do. And the last page of the high school handbook has kind of it outlined, and Mr. Andreessen's going to actually have parents and students sign it, just acknowledging that they've seen it. And we took the stance of, we don't want to see your phone. We don't want to see your smartwatch. We don't want to see your AirPods. I'm not searching your backpack. I'm not searching you. We're not going to require you to lock it up. We felt like we'd get a lot of iPhone 4s that someone dug out of their mom's drawer if we did something like that and turned in. And it's just trying to disrupt the day as minimally as possible. But our expectation is we don't see it. And if we don't see it, we're not going to go looking for it. So we don't not plan to confiscate them unless there's a reason to.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? This one will take a little work through the year.
I think so. We've had a lot of conversations. I think the first month is going to be just new. Anytime you have new expectations, it always takes some time. But I think if we can be consistent that first month and get into a routine, I think it'll be less of an issue than we think.
Any other questions on it? If not, do you want to go to the next policy?
Yeah, and the next one was a minor change. We already had a patriotic exercises policy in place. We had to change it from allowed to required to provide a time at the beginning of the school day to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Again, no student's going to be forced to do it. They can elect not to do it, but we have to provide that time at the beginning of a school day now.
Okay. Any questions on that one? Comments? This is the first reading, so what's your wishes on the first reading here for these two?
I would move to approve the first reading of policies, the said policies.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to bring up before we vote? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda, review and consider approval of the following resignation request to have liquidated damage waived for breaking a signed contract for Stephen Kessler, welding at Mandan High School. Dr. Betts.
Correct. Mr. Kessler's been a welding teacher for us for a number of years. He's done a really nice job. He was offered a position as a director in the Rough Rider CT Consortium, which is basically like a promotion to principal. Mrs. Peel, Chelsea Bittner, the MEA rep, and I discussed this. Our practice has been that when it's a promotion, we recommend waiving the damages and releasing him from his contract. I will tell you that I was really worried about this and us being able to fill this. Breaking up in here. We did have a very strong pool of applicants. I was hoping to have a contract for you to propose tonight. We have an agreement with the individual. I just don't, the ink isn't dry on that. I'm going to bring it to you August 4th, but I feel very good about the direction we're going with that contract.
Right, that's good to hear.
So all that being said, our recommendation is to thank Stephen for his service, release him from his contract, and not charge liquidated damages.
The new gentleman has some big shoes to fill.
He does.
They just
And
had some good success at nationals again here. So
They have.
all right, what are the wishes of the board on this one?
I move to waive the liquidated damages for breaking a signed contract and wish Mr. Kessler well in his new endeavors.
All right, you approve the resignation?
I approve it.
Okay, just want to make sure you had it right. Anybody got a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion, comments, questions? Seeing and hearing them, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda, review and consider approval of the 25-26 teaching contract for Tanya Fisher, ELA at Mandan Middle School. Dr. Rederath.
Yes, this is filling the opening that Ashley Gash left in early June, and we're excited to have Tanya. We think she'll be a great hire, and we'd like to welcome her to Mandan. We'd recommend her approval.
All right. What are the wishes of the board?
I would move that we approve the contract for Tanya Fisher.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Comments?
One quick question. On here it says replacement for Humi of Hillary Feist.
We did some shuffling to fill Ashley's position, and Hillary moved to Fort Lincoln, I believe. So it was a result of the vacancy from Ashley, but then there was the shuffling of everybody.
All right, any other questions? Please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Moving on, that motion passed. Review and consider approval of the 25-26 handbooks for the classified staff, teachers, elementary school, middle school, high school, the Braves Alternative Education, and the Mandan Virtual Academy. Dr. Ritteroth?
Yes, I can kind of work through these and some highlights, and if there's questions. Most of the changes to the classified staff are really just in alignment to what we changed within negotiations. We try to make that look pretty similar. So on page 11 of it, it's page 34 in your packet, we aligned 12-month employees, increased their accumulation of vacation, basically from 36 days to 40 days. Aligns with 12-month administrator agreement. Changed some verbiage in a few places. On page 38, we added 15 years of continuous service equals 50% of sick leave payout when retiring or resigning from the district. That also reflects the 12-month admin contract negotiations. And probably the other big one is on the page 41 in your packet. It's page 16 of the handbook. We added activities administrative assistant to a lane 8 to reflect we adjusted that position from a 4 to an 8 this last year. Just the volume of money and all the different pieces that job entails. We felt that was an appropriate move. We added student support specialist vision and hearing impaired lane 6. This position was not priorly listed in the classified handbook. It's a position we've had. We just didn't have it listed in there. And then we added a transition specialist. That's a position through Morton Sue via a grant to a lane 4. So those are the big changes to the classified handbook. Few other small things, but those were probably our most substantive changes. Any questions on that?
Just keep going.
There was no changes to the teacher handbook. If you remember, the teacher handbook is on Canvas, and that is something during our retreat I can definitely pull up and show too if people are interested in what that looks like, but we made no changes there. Elementary school handbook had very few. We missed on page 2 and 3 of the handbook. We need to update it. It still has Amanda Meyer at Lewis and Clark, and it still has Tracy Klein as special ed director, so we do need to fix that. And then on page 59 of it, under the telephone, we tweaked it a little bit with the whole cell phone change. There's a little bit of wording change there. Not a lot at the elementary level. Cell phones are not nearly what they are at our secondary levels, but there was a little bit of change in wording in that, but nothing super significant. Those were our only changes to the elementary handbook.
Questions? Keep going.
And then middle school handbook, probably our biggest ones. There's 3 kind of bigger ones in that. Page 6 and 7 outlined. They've added a lot of really nice awards at the middle school that kids can earn throughout the year. And they just felt like that needed to be outlined in the handbook so people understood the expectations of those. So those were added. They also clarified a bit of eligibility piece on page 9 for the middle school. That's always hard. We want middle school students involved, but we also understand they need to be doing what they need to be doing in the classroom. And so they're basing it off of their, I'm blanking on the name of it, basically their approach to learning scores. Are they being good students? Are they showing up? Are they being respectful? Are they turning in their work? So they outlined a process in there that I think makes a lot of sense for the middle school levels to have some eligibility requirements. And then obviously there was a little bit of change around the cell phone, again, outlining what those consequences are for that. And then high school level, probably the biggest pieces, you'll see on the very last page, I think Mark Andreessen developed a very nice one-pager that he's going to send out with his welcome back letter, and also have just kind of outlining what are the expectations now with cell phones and personal electronic devices. Having them sign it, it's not anything binding, but I think it's just an acknowledgement of you're aware of what may or may not happen. We sat for a long time and kind of developed the consequences for this. The middle schools look a little different, but are pretty in line. We didn't want a big jump from one building to the next, that you have this huge consequence in one building and not in the other. So we tried to create a little bit of consistency across there that was appropriate. The other 2 big changes are on page 15 of the high school handbook. We had to, by state law, indicate that if an individual is 18 years or older, that they can leave school to go vote on an election day. So we added a line in there for that. And then there's some changes around correspondence courses on page 18. So 2 things with that. We've talked a little bit about this. 2 sessions ago, distance education, North Dakota Distance Ed became a requirement that we had to provide to students if they asked for it, whether we offered the class or not. Now they've changed it. If we offer the class, we don't necessarily have to pay for them to take it through Distance Ed. We have a little more ability to put some parameters on how many classes they can sign up for, where they have to be when they take them. So we wanted to outline that in the handbook a little more clearly. We're also going to tighten on our Odyssey wear a little bit as well. If a student needs it for a graduation requirement, there's a medical situation, it's administrator approved, we're not going to charge for it. If I want to take it because I'm wanting to graduate earlier, I'm not like an English teacher, we still have options, but then there's going to be a charge. We're not going to pay for it in those situations. So that was just something that wanted to outline in there. Probably the other big thing you'll see is AI was added to both of the cheating sections and plagiarism sections, just appropriate use of artificial intelligence. Not that they can't use it, but the appropriate use of it was also added to our cheating and plagiarism sections. So those are kind of the big 30,000 foot view. BCA and the Virtual Academy. Virtual Academy, we do need to update. It still says Brave Center Academy, and as we change that name, we need to fix that. But those really reflect much of the high school, some of the cheating and plagiarism changes, and they will also sign the cell phone. Not so much the Virtual Academy, but Brave Center Academy will have the same cell phone expectations as the traditional high school students do.
Questions on any of them?
I have a question regarding, maybe not a question, it's just a comment. Middle school, I noticed, the elementary too. Anyway, the grading, in my view, is very vague. It's, I'll just leave it at that. And also hats at the high school. I'm still not sure what's going on there, but just comments, not anything else. That was it.
Okay.
Anything else? Any other questions? What are the wishes of the board on the approval of the 25-26 handbooks?
I move to approve the 25-26 handbooks in all these areas that were presented.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Ask again, any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Moving on then, future meeting dates, August 4th, regular school board, 5:30 p.m. City Hall. August 18th, regular school board, 5:30 p.m. City Hall. August 18th will be the annual retreat, so be ready for a little longer night on August 18th, 6 p.m. City Hall. August 25th, Facilities and Finance, 5 p.m. at the Brave Center. Any other meetings that should come before the board? Seeing and hearing none, it is 6:12. Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.